What? Okay. I think now that Mr. Extrodin has changed his background, we can officially start here. So I
Yeah.
think let's restart the episode here because
Okay.
we went like wee.
All right. I'll give back my cookie. I don't deserve a cookie.
Okay, all right. Why? It's like I'm walking in set. Anyway,
What up, everybody?
Yeah, hey everybody, you're watching the Nerdgasm podcast. I don't get Superman. For me, Superman's worse. And I'm not talking about in this movie or in the.
Is Appa the Chewie of the Avatar group?
Yes, he is!
okay, I'll behave. I'll behave. Okay. Hey, what's up, you guys? We are greeting each other for the first time in this Nerdgasm podcast. Okay, this is supposed to be. This is a way it was supposed to happen this entire time. Okay, I'm tebellokhala. Welcome to Nerdgasm. This is the Kizazi Moto review. We have my co-host, Mr. BuckMeister. Take the floor for the first time.
Okay. What is up, everybody? It's your boy BuckMeister Cool, twice the dice that you're used to. Shablamson. Please follow me on Meister Geek Media and BuckMeister Cool Reacts. Recast T'Challa, and it's BuckMeister Cool on most of my social medias. If you want to follow me and all of that good stuff, please check out Black Panther vs. Kang on Webtoons. And yeah, that's all it's gonna be for me.
All right, and Mr. Extrodin for the first time.
What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Extrodin. Basically, what I have is a YouTube channel called Mr. Extrodin Things, and on that, I have, I think, four podcasts. The first one is Mr. Extrodin Things, where I interview artists, where I interview animators, comic book creators, and so on. And then I have Africa is Next podcast, where I have tebellokhala of Netgasm podcast of this platform. He is joined by Pillar, and I also have BuckMeister Cool of BuckMeister Cool Reacts and Master Geek Media. We talk about all things anime, comics, manga, and anything that tickles our fancy. I also have African Frame, where we dissect movies with Roberto Sibeko, who's an author of Jin's War and Bludgeon Ball. He is also very knowledgeable when it comes to films. And I have another one called Hip Hop where we just discuss everything all hip hop. So yeah, that's me. It's extraordinary.
Right. Okay, we are here. We are here to discuss the Kizazi Moto review at last. I think this is episode 7 and 8, right? Yeah,
No,
7 and 8.
7 and 8, yeah, because 9 and 10 is thingy. Nine
Last
is you
two.
give me a heart, and 10 is Enkai, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Yeah. So this one is
So
Hatima,
this,
and
yeah,
this one is
this one,
Hatima and the
Stardust.
Stardust.
this one.
Okay.
It's this one, no?
Yeah.
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 Anyway, so once again, support local content. This of the two, I like this one the most. I'll explain why.
You like Stardust more than Hatima?
Hmm,
I
I don't know.
love
It's weird.
Hatima.
I don't know.
Hatima, I think to me is like really up there. Like I think it would be like if we're even going into ratings, it would be like my 9
Yeah.
out of
I get it. I love the action. I also like the backstory. I love the feel of it. This one, it pulled on my heartstrings a little too much. That's the problem. That's why I fell for this one.
I can see that. I mean, for me, it's on the lower spectrum. I like it. I like Moremi more than I like Stardust, but I can see why people would be attracted to Stardust.
You know, Stardust sort of reminds me of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Okay, but let's go in order, gents. We jumping all over the place. So Hatima is first, right?
Look at you
Yeah.
being our group psychologist, keeping us in line.
I get a cookie again, right?
Well done. Yes, you not only any cook, you get a Romany creams. There you go.
And you get a star on your forehead.
Yes. Have you noticed how people go back wild for Romani creams? It's like when you're visiting the house.
Yeah.
There are other cookies. There's like the lemon creams. There's the eat some
Oh,
balls. You've got the tennis biscuits. But then when the Romani creams, that chocolate one comes out,
Hmm.
you're a guest of honor for some reason.
That one and choice assorted, man.
And choice
yeah.
assorted.
No, those are the ones you eat when you don't want teeth anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, choice assorted is for Christmas, but I don't think it's gonna happen with Christmas this year. I saw the price tag and like, my guys, Christmas is
Your Christmas in spirit.
like it's
I don't even think we're gonna have a
250.
new year. I don't even think we're gonna have a new year. I think we're gonna just have a we made it.
Yeah, we survived.
It's not even like it's a new
Yeah,
year. It's just,
we're
we still
just gonna
here.
get a mass SMS. Ding, 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 ding. Well done, you survived. There's no fireworks, no nothing. We're like,
You're still here. You're
yeah,
still here.
yeah. Or loading version 2. It's like after a boss fight and then you start hearing the
So
costume.
somebody said that 2020 to 2023 doesn't count. 2021 starts next year.
No, those years were filler episodes, though. Those was like filler for sure.
Unless it's the final round, 2025. We don't wanna, 2024. You just hear the boss Sephiroth music starts to play in the background.
Yeah.
This is not my.
We had so many boss fights already, Chief. This is not Dark Souls. This is not.
Just when you thought,
Okay. Let's go
come back. Look at
Mr. Extrodin gets the star now.
Yay!
Anyway, so Hatima, the way it starts out, right?
Yes.
So basically, like the thing that amazed me about this short is that it was telling two stories simultaneously.
Yeah,
Like
Right.
to do that in 5 minutes is nuts.
it's not easy.
It's not easy with a 20-minute episode. Now imagine in 10 minutes, in half the time, you want to tell two stories.
Let me
Is it
put
not
it-
three stories though? I feel like it's three main characters. Is it not?
No, I'm saying three main characters, sure, but it's two stories.
Oh, but two storylines.
Yeah, the stories are parallel.
I think you're like to put into context. The only other show that's like, or rather, a show that has successfully been doing this for about 8 seasons was How to Get Away with Murder, and it had to take episodes of multiple stories at the same time.
But
And these guys did it in one.
Arrow. Even Arrow did the
Even
same
Arrow,
thing.
yeah.
Arrow was whack, but anyway, not going on a
Ooh,
tangent.
don't get me started about Arrow and its main actor because
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Focus.
I think my complaint. I'll need to message Roberto because he'll be my therapist for that one because he and I understand Warcraft. So we'll get back to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pin it for now.
Yeah. So thingy, the way this episode starts is like we get to see this guy. I don't even know if they name the main character. No, they do. What was his name?
His name is Blank.
You mean the boy?
Yeah, the boy. Why am I forgetting his name?
Insert name here.
Okay, yeah, we'll probably put it in the edit, or I'm just gonna look it up now.
Speaking as though you're going to be the one editing. Like future developer ain't got that level of patience. I know myself. Like you. Watch the episode. You'll find. Kids, watch the episode and write down the name. And when you do that, you also win a cookie.
Hati. There we go.
You just ruined it. People are gonna comment.
What's his name?
Hey, son, must I take it back?
No. Go ahead. Give the name. It's fine. You ruined
Mati.
it.
His name is Mati. Mr. Extrodin, can you hear me?
Have you lost
Yes.
audio again? Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, Mati, Mati. That's the name of the main character of this show. I don't know who the lady's name is. The other main character. Okay, you can go look that up.
Yes.
You can comment that
up
one.
and comment the name, and you win a cookie.
Yeah, there you go. And a star.
You're not sponsored. So I won't tell you what type of cookie. I'll just say you'll get some cookies. Ooh,
And I think this is the one that you were
does
saying
not
that,
sound right at all. You'll get a biscuit.
I think this is the one where we're saying that Terrence was heavily involved. I think he wrote it and he co-directed it.
He co-directed it, and I know he wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it opens with him. We get to see him as a kid, and we get to see him playing a prank on his dad. Shout out to all the black people in the water. I love how this shorts. It has so much water and so much black people swimming. Like they went in this with like this stereotype of black people don't swim.
Dude,
You're
it ends
ending it
now. It ends
today.
now.
Yeah,
We've got
I feel
surfers,
like
we've got fish people, we've got a teen over here who's willing to dive into waters.
it kind of gave me KZN vibes, like the beach, but obviously.
I was about to say East London vibes, but then again, I'm not from East
Oh,
London.
yeah, that too. That
And
too.
the person I know from East London is not here in the call today, so
Esan,
Yes, sir.
how did he get a Portuguese version? We need to ask him. But anyway, getting back to it, right? Yeah, so we see that, and it's a flashback. And again, like they tell so much story in like so few scenes
mm.
because we get establishing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Because it revolves around this thing called Hatima, which is this. It heals. It first we think that we see it as it's healing these people,
Right.
and then we get a flashback about how they discovered how to use it to heal, and then
Yeah, because the main lady was sick, right?
yeah, then we just see in between all this thing there's a big fight happening, and the action sequences, they are cartoonish, but they're also quite well translated. Like people punching each other, zapping each other, throwing each other. It's not Dragon Ball Z level of gruesome violence. It's not anime, but it's right there.
Yeah, I like it is a thing where I understand. Like for me, with the action scenes, it wasn't the thing that drew me to this
Yeah.
short
Mm.
because like it looked good, but I wish we could have gotten more of it. In a sense, like I wish they did have like a chance to like flesh it out because it looked like they wanted to do a bunch of cool stuff, but they were like,
Yeah.
we gotta get to
The meat of the
the
story.
story, the meat of the story.
So it's
But
probably
yeah,
cut off. They probably cut it out or something. Some
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
scenes were probably cut out.
No, I mean, they said in an interview, some of them said in an interview when they were talking about their shorts that they didn't get to do everything that they wanted to do,
Yeah.
but what went in was, it was the vision. The vision was sustained, but everything that they wanted for the shorts,
The level.
didn't
Yeah.
get to make it in,
The
which is
detail.
why
Yeah.
it's just like, man, if they only got a cartoon, oh my god. But anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then after that, right, we get to see that Mati is a small kid. He's got, I'm guessing it's a brother, or maybe it's like, it's like how it's the big kid in the neighborhood, but he's kind of
Yes.
your elder brother, but he's not.
Hmm.
I'm guessing they
Yeah.
had that kind of relationship because he
Unlike
never.
day one, I like day one of a few episodes ago. You see that day one, I still have issues with that friend. Anyway,
Yeah, no, that dude
I think
is a
I
sellout.
watched it again and I thought, you know what, they should have just let you drown.
Guys,
But
you never had a friend. You never had a friend like that. How?
no, look, I
No,
can
I
understand
don't.
messing up, but deliberately betraying you for a surfboard of all things. Anyway,
Dog, that world is different. You saw what that lady was willing to do. She was skipping people across rocks.
it's all just giving too much Naruto and Sasuke vibes. At some point, when does the forgiveness stop?
Okay. Anyway,
Come
getting
back.
back to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, getting back to it. So yeah, he's like that bigger brother in a sense where we get to see that there's a warrior. There's this ongoing war or whatever, and like. What's this? As we learn more about and then it does the flashback to the beginning where we get to see the two siblings or whatever, and like as much as I love all the strong moms throughout this, I don't know. I did feel like I mean, we did get a cool dad because in the 5 seconds that we saw him in this one where he was playing with his son, but the other dad in this, whew, I don't know. I will say not much dad representation throughout these shorts.
Dad's never heard of him. What is this? What is this? This. It's called Mama Africa, not Papa Africa.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe they had sort of like a mandate. They had a brief of sorts.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, to be fair, at least we got to see a cool dad for 5 seconds in the flashback. we did get that. So it's not like they weren't aware of it, but maybe it's just also time constraints,
But
and maybe also in Totem Problems, the dad was a good dad. It's just that he was quiet throughout.
also, we also do have a positive male figure in this very next one. So
Yeah,
it
no, I'm just
balances
saying
out.
that. I'm just saying that specifically. Positive male figures, I think, have been throughout this in entire thing. I think there's a few episodes like even a Herder boy, the mouth guy. What's this? Dushime. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, he was also a positive male figure. I was just talking for dad specifically, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's just the thing. I was just like, Issa, but I noticed. I was just like, yo, this dad, my guy, what is your problem?
Right.
Yeah, because he like the girl is trying to heal herself or whatever, and she's like sickly and everything, and he's just like, you just want her to be a cripple?
Yes.
Why? You don't
Because
I
play
guess
with the
it's.
Hatima.
I think it's because he didn't know the repercussions of dealing with the Hatima. He was just afraid of what might happen to the daughter. Maybe she might die or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he said she was dying anyway, and it was just like, let her try something. I don't understand this business of she must just accept the fate of the way it is when you have options.
But
Like
that's
it's
also
different if
a
you don't have
strong
options.
message.
Huh?
It's a strong message there. Like, sometimes even in the modern times where uh, people are afraid of change and they're afraid of things they don't know.
mm,
So instead of taking the risk, they would rather just let nature take its course. I mean, I'm sure that that's the relatability thing for me in this episode. I feel like sometimes parents who don't understand, I guess you could say, technology or modern things, they sort of don't want their children to be part of things they don't know. I don't know.
it's it stems from, yes, it's a fear of change, but it's also a fear of exploration because it's not like this Hatima thing was. It's not like this Hatima thing wasn't there before. It's
Mhm.
they're exploring to ask the question that hasn't been asked. That can we use this for good? And
Yes.
more often than not, innovation is brought through by necessity. Like, once again, you are sick, you're dying, and then you think, maybe let me try something that nobody else has tried because we have no other choice. And
Right.
that ideology of trying to innovate is sometimes scary because the ramifications could be cost you
Yeah, I mean
time.
it's true, but like that's also it. Kind of at least it sucks a little bit in a sense because like this continent in particular is responsible for a lot of innovations. Granted, it hasn't been recorded, but it is that thing of like it stems from like how people came over, and not to go this far with it or whatever. I don't want white subscribers. We want you to.
But the first heart transplant was done where?
So like, and also there's recordings of like the first surgeries and
Mm.
like all of that stuff. Like apparently there was this tribe that had they had these things that used to leech onto your back, and what it would do is it would like suck the blood out of the back, and then it would like drip into these. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was like a surgery for like low blood iron or something or whatever, or it was something along those lines or something. It was like a huge medical practice, and some white dude came with a black and white camera, took pictures, and said, "I can't believe they're doing this." And then white people say, "Well, take that for ourselves." But like, yeah, that whole fear of discovery, like, I think it stems from that. Like, we went and discovered, and then turns out it was not a good discovery, and then they're like never discovering again. So
It's like that movie with the Roots when they're like saying, "Look, what happens when someone tries something new? You die. So you
mm,
stay inside the cave and you're safe."
mm.
It's that type of mentality. It tried to take the daughter saying, "No, I want to go out into the world," and then them being forced out into the world. Like, there's no cave anymore.
I guess you could say that that's the similarity between this one and the one about the totems. It's this girl actually takes a huge risk, not knowing what's going to happen, but just I guess a leap of faith,
Mm,
taking a
Mm.
leap of faith.
mm.
Yeah.
And she survived, but then she was different,
Yes.
which is
And funny
ultimately,
enough, she was not disappointed by the change. She was actually still happy that she's fine. She's alive.
mm,
Yeah, I
She's
mean, also
healthy.
that's also another thing that I kind of got from this short, which I thought was phenomenal. It was like just because something's different doesn't mean it's over. You know, just because you lost something doesn't mean your life is finished. You know, like
Mm,
just like I mean, we talk about the parents. Like there's people out there who's and it sucks. I mean, I didn't go through this personally, but there's people who have been disowned by their parents because they
yeah.
decided to do something different or whatever, and whatever the
Mm,
case is, and clashes and all of that stuff. But just because you may have lost that doesn't mean it's over for you. There's still
right.
life to lead and live and
mm,
do things.
mm.
Mm,
So that was a nice message for me that I got from this one.
yeah.
I
And also,
also
it's like, oh, sorry. Please continue.
no, continue first, please.
Oh,
I'll add afterwards.
I just wanted to say that for me, the message is I'm still me. I might have my own preferences, or I might look different, or I might, have this. I might have taken this particular journey, but I'm still me. I'm still your child. That hasn't changed.
Mm.
Mm.
And I wanted to add that anyone who undertakes a hero's journey of their own, they don't come back the same. I think it's one of the most underrated but most lasting messages that you learn from things like The Lord of the Rings. There's a reason why there's a chapter called The Scouring of the Shire, and there's a chapter about a chapter about many partings and stuff like that. It's because yes, you've saved the world, or yes, you've gone through this journey, but now when you come back to your home, you are no longer the same person that left that home in the first place.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people can, and yeah, in this case she was ostracized, but in sometimes it's also more internalized. It's you who you can't relate to this world anymore, and it can be a lonely journey, but it doesn't make it any less worthwhile. And it shouldn't be, and that's what I liked about this part. It's like it doesn't diminish it doesn't diminish yourself from the world. You're still beautiful. You're still happy to be there. You know, and that's
Mm.
what I liked about it. It's like, yay, I'm here. I'm happy. I'm back. And then it's them who are like, oh no, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, then there's also we have to talk about the sister, which I felt a little bit conflicted on. No, not conflicted. You know what it is? It was that thing of it's because if there's the rebel sibling, then
Yeah.
there's somebody who's had siblings, and I was the little girl at some stage in my life. That's a weird thing to say, but
Okay, let me not make the joke. So yeah,
oh
Miss-
yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's some jokes
Yeah.
that I'm not that I'm not the world is not ready, and I'm not ready to say them.
Okay, anyway, I was like the little girl
Yes.
in the earlier stage of my life where it was about not displeasing my parents, trying not to
Okay,
rock the boat,
that's
you know.
great. You know what? It's great. To the J.K. Rowling is going to be gasping at that comment.
Yeah. I will never get anything Harry Potter again. Destroy him or her or whatever they are.
Whatever they are.
Anyway, I was like the little girl when I was younger. I was a person who didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to upset my parents, even though I ended up upsetting them anyway. So I did. But yeah, it was that thing of a lot of shush. I want to keep. I don't want noise. I don't want things to go
You want to
wrong.
keep the peace.
Yeah, and it turns out I learned the hard way that you can't keep the peace. People have to keep the peace within themselves. That's the only way that works. So so like when like what's this? So it was so sad to kind of see that little girl lose her bigger sister because she was trying to keep things together and she couldn't because she was like in between these two gigantic opposing forces. Even though the older sister was way more like palatable to the idea of coexistence.
Yeah.
Like the other thing that I love about this episode, right? Just talking about the sister more, is that you get to see how tolerable she actually is.
Yes.
Like
Which one? The older one or the
the
younger one?
older sister, because she never leads a rebellion. it's
Yes.
never a thing where she takes it personally, where like she's hurt, but she never goes, okay, if that's, it's not that, and it's not, yo, Aaron Yeager fans, take note. What she did is she went and made a thriving community. She ain't marched giant Hatima monsters down the strip to destroy everybody. Take
I guess
note.
it just goes to show when you give power to someone who's already good, it doesn't corrupt them anymore. But someone who already had a certain gripe against certain people or wanted revenge, but they were too weak to do anything about it. Once they get that power, all hell breaks loose.
There's always this saying. It's a very old saying, but then they say power doesn't corrupt; it reveals who you are.
Right.
Power and money, those
Yeah,
two.
but money is power, though, is it not?
Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah.
you can
But
have money, but you can't. With all the money in the world, you can't summon an army. But if you have influence, if charisma, if you have if you have any avenue to power, money is one of the avenues to power. I do agree with
yeah, I
that.
mean, look at Hitler's haircut. If he had money, you think he'd be having his hair like that?
With this, so
Anyway,
it does it like I said, it doesn't corrupt. It just reveals
I'm
what
cancelled now. By the way, sorry.
for what
For
for
that name, that's for he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
please. I think it established that you thought Hitler is bad, so it's okay. It's not like if one of these is like, man, we could use another third guy. Like, yeah, black. Why are you talking about that?
Wait, who? Hey, wait.
Zig dude. That's what
Anyway,
happened. Anyway,
yeah.
so
I also love that message where she was like, if things have to be different, I don't have to be violent for them to be different.
Right.
I
So
mean,
should we talk about the? Oh, sorry.
yeah, I also wanted to just wrap it up in thinking that the episode concludes with both sides hating each other, but then being confronted with the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted us to go to the second story, the second
Yeah.
part of the story.
I mean, also, I just want to touch on the father a little bit more because, like, he also like shout out to that dance scene where they had the I don't know what it's called, but that Zulu dancing thing with like the things. Yeah,
Shibelani, I think.
yeah,
Shibelani.
Shivelani. Like that looked really cool, and it was like nice to see like a bunch of those people just enjoying the party before we get the reveal of the older daughter who's now turned into Aqua Woman. But yeah, that was also fun to watch and everything, and like it showed you that this society, if they could just pivot just a little bit, the daughter's reveal wouldn't have been that much of an issue because they're about togetherness and community and all of these things. They just
Right.
need to change just a little bit.
The fear of being different. I think you mentioned it spot on. It's the it ultimately culminates to being the fear of being different from the norm, standing out. And I've mentioned it before, and I've said it for you. I'm sure all of you, everyone here has experienced it. That the consequence of expressing our uniqueness is more often than not we end up being alone up until we find our people. And in an effort to spare your children from loneliness, you're trying to squeeze them into this thing called conformity, which ultimately kills your spirit. There is
Yeah.
because nobody knows you. We want to be accepted as we are. That's the rub. You can't just accept, but not as we are.
And then also, just to touch on it, and I guess also it's part of the second story, or maybe we'll get into it with the second story. Let's get into the second story. All right. So we get back to the young man, Mati. The war's going down. His elder brother jumps into the fray or whatever, and his elder brother's already injured. So they already kind of give you that information that this has been going on for a while. And like it's also a message on the futility of war. Like you get to see that this thing, it's not stopping, and like everyone in it is miserable.
From both sides.
From both sides, like like the people invading and the people getting invaded, nobody's actually having a good time, and you'd think the people invading are having a good time. And that also was like an allegory for me to xenophobia.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Like it was that thing of what's this? They look different, they sound different. Make sure they you have to squash it down. You have to we can't have these guys next door. They share borders with us. It's danger.
Okay.
Let's take it to them, type of thing. Which has been a thing in South Africa. Like just being real about it, it has been and it's always been interesting because it's people next door. It's not the people who take boats or planes or anything. No, it's just the people next
Yeah.
door we have problems with.
To our deep shame.
Sorry, Mr. Extrodin, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh.
My headset just died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is the topsy turvy episode, so bear with us. Bear with
Yeah.
us. Don't worry. No,
Yeah,
this.
I mean, Mr. Extrodin, would you want to add on that to what I was saying about the xenophobia stuff?
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say?
Oh, I was saying that this episode also is an allegory for xenophobia because they share a border, but then they're invading and fighting with each other over this in the border, and like also the people who are up top are trying to squash the people at the bottom who are supposedly less fortunate than they are, which is like it's been an issue here in South Africa. And it's like it's not the people who take aeroplanes, it's not the people who take boats, it's the people next door, the people we share borders with that we have issues with.
You know, I didn't think of it that way, but now that you mention it, because one thing I wanted to talk about was how history has been diluted in this story to such an extent that people who are supposed to be brothers and sisters have basically, started becoming enemies. And
Yeah.
I guess I could say the same thing with us as well. It's like ultimately we come from the same source, we come from the same, say, mother, quote unquote, but we have somewhat forgotten that, and history has sort of diluted that to make us think we're enemies and whatnot.
Go back 100 generations, and the border between Zimbabwe and South Africa doesn't exist. We're
So,
one people.
so
We're one people. We're always the same. The same can be said. Go back 100 generations. The borders between Botswana, South Africa, and Lesotho did not exist.
so
So it baffles me to my core, but it's the reality that you're facing. Oh, what are they trying to block me?
I mean, it's not. This is
Like
the
how dare you?
queen now. Her ancestral spirit has descended to block your computer.
Like how dare you? Do not speak the C. Do not say the C word.
Yeah, the colon. Anyway, it does speak to that thing. I mean, it's not so confusing if you think about it because I mean, again, blackness technically is an invention because you go back 100 generations, nobody was calling themselves black. It was the Tswana, it was the Sotho, it was the this, it was the that. So yeah, you go into those people, you split them apart, you make them draw lines, then obviously everybody forgets. That's the colonizer 101. They did it to themselves. That's why they did it here as well. Anyway, that's my moment for the day. The more you know.
The more you know. Hashtag Palestine will be free. Anyway.
and I guess
Yeah.
do you guys see this being a series or was it fine as a short like this?
No, a movie. It should have been a movie.
It should have been
was a
a
movie.
This was a proper movie. I think it would have a nice, good 90-minute to a 120-minute long movie
Yeah. Like almost that hour and a half would have been perfect for this.
would have been perfect.
Yeah, where we even get to, and then it would be also cool to see that girl and Mati like interact throughout time, where Mati is like, because the other thing is like with a war, right, and with you being the one that's being aggressed against, right? There's this thing of you have to win. Like, I mean, there's also the other side. The other side also has it. The other side also has it where they must win. But you, as the person who's agreed, you feel like you're supposed to win even more because they're coming to you.
Yeah.
But now that strength that Mati shows at the end of this short, it's like astronomical. Where you, as the person who's injured, can even be like, I know I'm the one who's hurting in this situation, but let's turn it around. Let's talk. to see a whole arc where Marty goes through that kind of character development where he's this angry person who goes into taking up that woman's message forward or whatever and builds an even bigger and better society with the two borders combined together to be one kingdom again. That would be a perfect Pixar movie or a perfect like animated movie.
Did you just say Pixar movie in a Disney review?
Yeah.
Disney owns them.
Yeah, but as much as they have a love-hate relationship, Disney wants to say I made the best movie of the year, and then Pixar like, okay, yeah, sharp. You talk about feelings, shut. There is no way. Given that premise, Disney would suck it up immediately. Like, this is mine. You go talk about parents and feelings.
Your soul is mine.
But funny enough,
I'm gonna take that clip again. I had so much fun putting up the clip from Quizzendale last week. I found it like
from what?
the
Too bad you
will die.
die.
I don't know if you get to it because I know Pila's busy answering the different scenarios. So he will get to the Mortal Kombat one.
Just to go on a slight tangent, not to stay long. I saw a comment and it made me laugh so hard. Where it was like Sindel actress. I can't read this line, director. It's terrible. And the director's like, too bad you will try.
Oh dear. Anyway,
oh my god.
We're back. We're back.
It's the best bad movie ever. Oh my god.
It is. It's so bad. It's good. It's almost right up there with Warriors of Virtue. But you're not gonna get me to admit that in public. Oh no, I'm live.
Yeah. So getting back to it, right? We get the war. We get the back and forth. Like Mate's pain was so palpable in this short. Like you could see, like, and also they don't give him the anime moment where he gets to go Super Saiyan or this short is like, it's not anime, chief. Your trauma doesn't give you power boosts.
It doesn't give you power boosts. It doesn't justify your violence. It, I like, people. There's this, I don't know, I want to call it this mentality nowadays that just because you've been traumatized, it gives you permission to traumatize others, and it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Aaron.
When the Attack on Titan stands are gonna come trample into my channel. We'll just hear on the comments rumble, 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 rumble. Like, oh no. Oh no. The Attack on Titan fans are coming. What shall we do? Anyway, I think our overall rating for this episode out of 10.
No, I also want to talk about that other kid as well, the one that Mati fights.
Yeah.
Like, what's this? Like, there's this moment where his father, or I guess his general or whatever, I'm assuming it's a father because of the way he pushed him, and he was like, "Mula, fetch him, go," or whatever, and you get to see like that kid has a hesitation because it was also just a subtle commentary on how people don't know what they're getting thrust into. Yeah. Like, if you look at the frame, the kid looks like he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. And then, like, he gets activated to become this aggressive soldier. And it's like, was that what you were as well? No, it looks like you were something else. And then you were forced into a situation you didn't want to be in.
It's giving a lot of FN... Okay, no, I'm not going to give him his original name. It's giving a whole lot of Finn vibes. From a certain franchise, the one we decided not to ever talk about.
Yeah.
With laser swords, that Finn.
Who's Finn? What's a Finn? Is that a shark thing? Is that a thing on a fish?
Okay, it's giving a lot of Poe's boyfriend in a polyamory relationship.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like that was also interesting to me, and also their fight, even though it wasn't like well choreographed. I mean, it's two kids fighting.
Yes,
with powerful weapons, so of course it's not like they did that on purpose. It wasn't like it's not. You're not gonna get Naruto versus Sasuke where everybody's throwing multiple kung fu hands or whatever. Like they just look like they're just trying to get at each other
Yes.
as best as they can, and that was like intense for me. And then obviously I don't know if this was a subtle commentary, but I felt like it was the spirit of that woman. Like because they know it was the spirit orb, I felt like this is why I would have loved to see more of this, because it felt like that activated the minute those two were in the vicinity of it.
Yeah.
Like she planted that there just in case this scenario unfolded, which is just like that's how forward thinking that woman was, because she could see the distrust of her father. Because there's a frame before she goes into the water after she says goodbye to her sister, which I was heartbroken. I was like, little sister, why don't you jump in the Hatima too? Just become a fish and let's go. You can leave this man by himself, because
This salty old man.
because obviously there's things going on with him that's a problem. So just jump in the Hatima Levi. But
Sister,
like,
I'll go with you.
yeah, but like you get to see a shot of him. He's looking at these fish people, and that was another thing that was interesting to me that I caught. It felt like there was a disease going around that man's kingdom, and he didn't know. That's why so many people were jumping into the Hatima to actually start this underground thing. Like something was happening in the kingdom that the king wasn't talking about. And you know when monarchs do that, it's usually a sign of disaster and ruin when they refuse to address problems. Which was another thing I caught where I was like, oh, okay. So you one of those kings where it's just sweep it under the rug. Even if it's my own daughter, just everything's fine.
Pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and the daughter kind of blew the lid on that, which I think is kind of what also led to her expulsion. Because I was just like, there's so many Hatima people here in the water with this woman. What's going on? And it's like it's men, it's women, it's kids. Like something was happening in the kingdom that I wish we got to have explored.
I think you know what. I'll highlight it in our conclusion next week. But I just wanted to say it's like I hope the creators of all these stories find a way to pursue these stories even further. Whether they in their free time finish the entire scripts or seasons or something like that, whether in their own way or not, find a way to put it out on other means of social media, like all the YouTubes or the other broadcasting sites. All of these things, I hope that they just go on with these things, because these stories are entirely too good and they're entirely too entertaining just for it to end the way it ended. Honestly,
I think most of them are unique. I don't think it's anything we've seen before. Especially, I would say
I think I would say the wrapping is unique. If we break the stories down to their basic elements, we've seen them before, but we've never seen them like this.
Yes.
And I think that's the important thing here.
And in a world of rehashing Super Saiyans who are getting colors, different colors of the rainbow, or bringing back old tired ass animes, I'm looking at you, Bleach. Come at me, I don't care. Or
looking what?
I'm looking at you, Bleach fans, rehashing old tired ass storylines. Bleach is dead. Let it rest in peace, guys. Let him rest. It's okay. Stop Michael Baying him. What? Did I hear something? Who was I?
Yeah, you see how the Aaron fans are coming for me?
Yes.
You're gonna hear Bankai by your
out of nowhere.
Bankai.
Nani? Out of nowhere. And I'm pissed off the old generation anime fans. Oh my Shinderu. Nani? That's what's gonna happen, but I'm still gonna tell the truth. We are rehashing tired old stories, and here we have something fresh, unique, beautiful, well executed, and it honest that the tragedy didn't get that much traction that it deserved. But I hope these people just go on with it. I mean,
also another thing I picked up for this episode, just the last thing before we rate it, is that Gennady. I remember watching a video of Gennady Tartakovsky, and he was talking about how don't worry about frame rates, worry about characters. Yeah. Like it was only on like the 5th time I did see a drop in frame rate, but it didn't bother my experience.
It
Because
didn't.
what they did is that they focused on the design and the characters' movements and the characters' interactions. So that sometimes even when the action scenes would chop down a little bit, even though that added to the chaotic elements of the battle, it was like, oh, if you didn't know anything about animation, you wouldn't have picked it up anyway. Where it was just like, yeah, these guys really know what they were doing. That's how they managed to fit in so much, because they didn't worry about having the smoothest frame rate ever. They worried about the framing and they worried about the storyboarding and how the characters flowed, rather than having a smooth looking cartoon, which I think is a message for a lot of animators out there. Like, don't make the smoothest story, make the best story, type of.
I agree.
100%.
Out of 10,
Anyway.
I
9. This
give
is
it
a
an
9.
8.
Now solid 8.
And the only reason I'm giving an 8, to be honest, apart from no, I think 9 actually. And the only reason I'm giving it a 9 is because I want more.
Yeah, I can't give it a 10 because it's not. I need a satisfying conclusion, and that conclusion is too open ended. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many questions that come after that.
Yeah, just because they didn't kill each other doesn't mean the war is over. You know what I mean?
Are they going to start reaching peace? Are they going to?
No, I'm saying, like, how are they going to do that?
Yeah, that's the one
That
thing.
kid. I'm saying, like, that kid that Mati saves, you can see it in his face. He doesn't want to be there. Like,
Right.
the animators did like subtle ticks with the
Yeah, no,
character's
the-
face.
nobody-
Where it's like he doesn't want to be there. No, like the dad who pushes him or that old man who pushes him, you can see it in his face that he's into this war. He
Yeah,
wants to kill these fish people. But that kid, if you ever analyze it frame by
Was that
frame,
me?
you can see like the. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I think we're all good. Yeah, I was just saying you can see the small ticks in his face, and you can see the small emotional moments where he's like, I'm terrified out of my mind. I don't want to be here.
Right.
Anyway, so we've given it a rating. Let's move to Stardust, which
Okay.
is. I think I like this more for me because, like I said, it pulled at my heartstrings because we've always had. When you spend most of your life alone as an only child, the many times you've asked the inevitable questions of who am I, and who am I, what am I here to be, what am I here to do, eventually haunts your every thought. And I saw myself in this girl so many times, and I also saw myself in that old man.
Is she an orphan, this girl?
Seems like
It seems
it seems like she's.
it-
First off, shout out to the only Afrikaner episode in this Kizazi Moto thing, because this felt like it was very much. It was giving me Afrikaner vibes.
it was giving Cape Malay. It was
Yeah.
giving Cape
Oh.
Khala. It was giving.
Maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah. Also, I definitely see what Tebello is saying and all of that stuff. I did that aspect of the character where she always wants to be more, because you always kind of, it's human nature to want to be more than what you are. So that was
The most human nature of all is asking ourselves, what are we here to be? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, those two questions, the Pokemon first movie defined it perfectly. You two always ask those two questions: who am I, and what am I here to be? What am I here to do? And this movie encapsulates that idea, because we've got a society that's built around people getting destinies from the stars,
Mhm.
which is a very beautiful. It's a very nice. It's a nice way of pointing of living in a society where where you see people around you knowing what they want to do with their lives. Like, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be, I don't know, a police officer. You know what I mean? And then there's little old you stuck there in the middle of nowhere, not knowing what the hell you want to do with your life.
mm,
Yes, yeah, there are people like that.
And then there's somebody who comes there, and the most alluring thing is, like, there are these people coming, and they don't know. It's like going to a guidance counselor, or going to. Okay, I'm gonna. You know what? We've offended all the spectrums now. Let's offend religion. We're going to see a prophet.
When you don't want the channel, I feel like you're playing the game of how long can I keep this channel up before
Can I last?
somebody comes.
No. It's you. You guys started this. You opened the floodgates with attacking political parties, attacking different parts of the world. So let's call it what it is. There are some people who try to find meaning in religion, and more often than not, you find also an exclusive club. Like what on earth do you find? Like no, these chairs are for the guests only. You only sit there at the back. Have you noticed that in many of these churches, quote unquote. I, am I
I've
lying?
seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah, so we've got,
No,
and
but I
now
mean,
we have,
that's a common thread amongst a lot of religions. Even atheism, interestingly enough, there's the seat for the scientists
yeah,
who know everything, and there's the seat for the guys who don't know nothing, and it's like, yeah, and it's
yeah.
just like, so
Now
I think
there's
it's a thing across a lot of things.
now there are these bunch of people that are basically cast out,
Mm.
and she's considered one of them, but she doesn't want to be there. And in a world where somebody wants to go and change, she's being kept back. She had to literally jump over hoops and leaps and bounds to go find the person where she believes will give her something to change who she is to become what she wants to be.
And she said she wants more, right? More than
Yeah,
that. No, that's all she wants.
But I don't think she had a defined goal. I think, and that's also an interesting thing about this short, because I think that's something that's detrimental to a lot of people. I know it's the hustle culture, have goals, etc., etc. But for me, what this thing illustrated, and I mean, it's something that I've experienced in my personal life or whatever. I mean, again, she's a lot more desperate about it, which, I mean, that's just her character. But there is the message of you don't have to know where you're going. You don't. Like, this thing of you have to be somewhere at a specific time. Why?
it has killed how many people?
That's a thing people told you. Like it's not real. It doesn't exist.
Right.
It's not like it's not like if you don't get here by this time, it's all over. That's not what happens. So like that was an interesting message about this short where it's like you will be where you need to be when you need to be there. You don't have to worry about getting there.
Right.
There's this line.
The more I talk about it, the more I realize she's kind of like Naruto in a sense. But anyway. Because Naruto was sort of like not acknowledged by the people around him. He wanted more, he wanted that acknowledgement. And yeah, he went through leaps and bounds to get that.
Yeah, but then he also realized, like, I think what this guy was brilliantly teaching. I think he's my favorite character in the short, the old dude. He's my favorite character in the short. And I think the thing is you also need old people like that. You need like old people who can come in and tell you, Chief, relax. Like,
No, I like the lesson he put. He asked her, "What do you want?" And the most important thing that people don't realize is when it comes to trying to forge your own destiny, you need to answer that question for yourself. Is what do you want? More often than not, you are born into a world with saying, "Wanako toba a doctor," or "Utoba a mruti," or everybody's telling you what you're supposed to be. But then when somebody either you and it when they impose that on you, yes, it can cause people to lash out or rebel. But at the same time, when somebody gives you nothing, like there's the star firstborn, like there's the rebellious secondborn, and then there's the third child, then there's the middle child who nobody pays attention to, and like they don't even sit down to ask, "What do you want with your life?
Right.
What's going on?"
I'm crying because you're opening old wounds.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that when it comes to you to say you need to make up a stand and say this is what I want to do with my life. And yeah, it doesn't have to have a time limit. I need to put that caveat. It's very important. Do not put a time limit on the dreams that you wish to achieve. Don't say by 35 I want to be a multi-billionaire. Because what happens when you get to 35 and you're not a multi-billionaire? You automatically call yourself a failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like I think also even like beyond that, even just beyond asking her, what he did was just say walk. Like here's a thing. Oh, you don't have a star? What are you gonna do? And
Yeah.
the first thing she does is she goes to find him because she knows he knows that that's what she's gonna do.
Mm.
And he's
Uh,
like, those steps, that little journey you take there will be way more important than any other destiny that I can give you.
I think
And
from the moment she decided to go get to walk back, she already determined her destiny. She just doesn't know it.
yeah. But I'm saying like even more than Destiny, I think. It wasn't like for me, I didn't get like a Destiny vibe from this. What
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got from it was the whole thing of take the steps to be on the journey. That's
Yeah.
kind of what the message was from
Mm,
that I got from this
mm,
short. It was just like you see all these people doing this great thing. Why are you not walking your own journey? Why are you
mm.
so worried about what
Why do you need
everybody
some?
else is going to be? Why
Mm,
don't you just here take this? Oh, you didn't get what you want? Go find it, and then you'll see that what those steps that you take to get to what you wanted will be way more important than getting the thing that you wanted.
mm, mm. I, ooh, those are powerful words. I think I'm going to make that into a short. That one. Those are powerful words because wow, I'm speechless.
No, man, it was a great written short. It was a great written short. And also
I
their chemistry was just phenomenal. The old guy and the little girl, their chemistry was just this for me would have been a Disney Plus series, I feel
It
like.
would have, yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
I like that old man reminded me of this wise saying that I once heard years ago. I've forgotten which movie it was. I think it was a movie or something like that. But then they said there is no blackboard in the sky that tells you who you are.
Mm.
There's no blackboard where God writes here, like here's tebello.khala, born 1986, who's going to, and then there's a blank, and then God fills it in, and then this is your destiny. Go live it. There isn't. So your destiny is the one you give yourself.
Mm.
Your life is as exactly how you choose to be. You've been given this opportunity to determine what is best for you and best for those around you through your actions. And no one can give it to you. But the more important thing than that is nobody can take it away from you.
You know, when you're saying this, I remember my cousin and I were maybe we were reaching, and this is the day
Yeah,
of
yeah, a bit low on volume. Just speak up a little.
can you hear me now? Am I better? Is it still bad?
I think maybe are you using other headphones?
Yeah. Okay, let me do this. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
I think the computer speaker was better.
Okay.
All right, while we have the technical
Is this
difficulties,
better?
Yeah,
yes,
it's better. Yeah.
so much better.
Uh, because otherwise I won't be able to hear you guys. I'm
Can
so
you hear
sorry,
us now?
guys. I'm trying to multitask here.
No, not a problem. Okay, we'll keep it going while you're doing your thing.
Doom, 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 doom,
Ah, man.
Yeah, but like yeah, that's and also the old man kind of like hits it home with that point when you were saying you kind of make your own destiny in a sense,
Yeah,
where when he's talking to the three bandits that were chasing the little girl down,
yeah.
and he like decides this is what I'm going to do now, and
Hmm.
those guys are like you can't make that decision, which is wild because you know people like that where you make a decision and then they're like you can't do that, and you're like but
But I just
dog.
did.
And also, you're over there, I'm over here. Like
Hmm.
like these two bodies ain't melded together. We're not Siamese twins. I don't know why. I don't know why you're
Right.
trying to say I can't do this.
Yeah, I like the way they were so presumptuous to assume like you are like us. You're not like these people. What do you think you're doing? You don't. And I'm thinking, girl made a choice. I like the moment like I'm making this choice, and like screw
You
you.
know what I've noticed about all these episodes? It's like there's a common thread.
Hmm.
There's a character who basically takes a huge risk.
Hmm.
Then there's also a mentor figure who sort of like acknowledges what the other person did,
Hmm.
and sometimes it's not they don't approve. Sometimes they approve. And I guess you could say this is probably the first one where the male figure is, I guess, is given a lot of screen time and is a lot older and is doing the right thing.
And has the most loyal pet I've ever seen, Rifi.
Mm.
Rifi, like I wanted to look if they make merchandise. Please make a merchandise of a plush of Rifi. I'd be like I'd buy it like in a heartbeat.
No,
Yeah, like
that was one of
who
those
would have
designs
guessed?
where you were just like, yeah, they would have made so many toys of this.
Yeah,
Who would have guessed that what she was looking for was hidden by that pet? Like that was crazy.
No, again, like this old dude, because the thing about the old dude, and that's what you got to notice about some old people, not a lot of old people, but some old people, is that like they have this level of consciousness where they can already predict what everybody who's in a compulsive state of action is going to do. They already know which direction you're going to run in. So they'll rather teach you a lesson that way because it's the way hard heads learn, is that they have to go bump their head, and the old people know exactly how you're going to bump their head, but they won't tell you, because then when you learn it, then maybe they'll have a better chance to tell you in the end, because they learn those lessons at an older age. So they know how important it is to give that to somebody younger than them.
Right.
So he knew exactly every move she was going to make before she even made it, because he was like, I mean,
yeah.
he does say to some extent that she did her own thing. There was some wiggle room, but he's like, yeah, I knew you were going to end up here because I knew that you were chasing this thing that you thought you needed, but you've already become the person that you needed to become anyway. So you didn't need this thing to tell you
Right.
who you were supposed to be.
And I also like the fact that he gave her his capsule. It's like it's empty. Yeah, so now you can imagine how I felt.
Yeah,
You know,
I think.
it's
Yeah,
not like
it's that thing. Like also they foreshadow it at the beginning when they first meet.
Yeah.
Because usually, if you look at it before, he was just picking them out and giving them to people. It's only with her where he goes, "Oh, I think this one is perfect for you."
yes, this one, and then poof, empty.
Hey, but for a second, I thought she was gonna be a villain. You know, when she's looking out that same night, where she's like, "Then I'm gonna have to get it myself." I'm like, ah.
Yes.
Yeah, it seemed like she was gonna be like this villain, but no, she was
It's
just determined.
it's like she must have been in a parallel universe from that the girl from the episode we liked about the totem issues, like
Oh,
great grandchildren.
yeah. Imagine their crossover.
Like, so what are you gonna do about it? I'm not gonna. I didn't. I literally went to crossed over to the spirit world to get my totem. What are you gonna sit there? Get up, girl, and go get your own destiny. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. Hold on, I'm gonna get it myself.
Oh, there will be such a disaster together. Dynamic duo. Their parents will have such heart attacks. No, I didn't tell you to ish, man.
What are you doing?
Actually, this get up line, it reminds me of Kai, but okay, you know what? Never mind.
No. Stick to the topic.
Yeah,
The
no, don't worry.
Tokaiba. Did I just hear him?
No, tomorrow.
Mokuba. Okay, sorry. Anyway, yeah. So, Mr. Extrodin, any more thoughts on this particular episode?
No, not so much. No, I think that's it.
There's one thing I did want to shout out where the old man says, "Unfortunately, you did make this choice," and then that big thing comes and knocks those guys out the window.
Yes.
That was also a nice touch on how if you choose to be like regardless of your past, because people's pasts are important. It's not to just take away a person's past or whatever, but the actions you do take, they're going to come round at some
it's a self-fulfilling
stage.
prophecy.
Yeah, it's going to come round at some stage. Like you can do what this little girl did, where despite her past, she decided to be something more, or you can be trapped in those cycles trying to do a thing, and then eventually it's going to catch up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just noticed something on my mic.
Oh, I thought you were doing some ASMR for us. I was very confused.
Oh, okay. Oh, what did I call my ASMR channel? Hi guys. Welcome to another episode of Sleepy Time with tebello.khala. Here we're gonna make some soothing sounds for you to relax and go
I
for
feel
the
like
tingles.
you're supposed to be narrating like a gazelle getting chased by a lion.
Oh yeah. The host and Pete City Lion King. And
Yeah.
now the wildebeest are busy charging down the valley. What will Simba do? Simba runs for his life, desperately trying to find a vantage point for him to survive, as his entire herd of wildebeest, who are being chased down by no less than the hyenas, Shenzi, Ed.
Are those things written though? I wonder, do people write those things?
Of course I do.
Yeah, it's a script.
Oh, sorry, I just broke the immersion. Oh,
Hey,
oops.
dog, you woke me up. I was sleeping so nice. Yeah, no, they do. It's a script. Like
I have to write it down somewhere.
you
Yeah,
can't
that makes sense.
like. I mean, you can freestyle it, but it's not going to be the videos that you get.
Yeah,
True
because
that.
you're not gonna call Morgan Freeman to freestyle. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know?
David Attenborough. David Attenborough can never have
Although
freestyle.
I would love to actually see a Morgan Freeman freestyle.
Oh yeah, there is a part. Remember in the Lego movie,
Which part of the Lego movie?
there's a part where he has to keep saying when he keeps on saying Dumbledore or double doors. They're like, it's Dumbledore, double doors. It's Dumbledore.
Oh no,
Then the whole,
I'm talking like a whole. There's a beat and everything, and Morgan Freeman is like, "Get busy swimming or get busy dying." Oh,
no, but there's a line that was a pop,
are you ready, Mr.
it was
Wade,
like
for the
it was
game?
improvised. Like, all right, we're gonna get into this one take because I'm not gonna say this again. That's all. That was off improv. I think if I can find the clip, I'll put it up. I'll send it to you as well. Anyway,
All
so
right.
let's rate this episode before we pass out.
It's tough. It's tough. 7.5. I'd have to give it a 7.5. I just think I didn't get enough world building. Oh,
Oh,
Pluto had to drop out.
We just lost Mr.
And
Extrodin.
yeah, I'm sure he'll come back just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Like I said, it pulled on my heartstrings because somebody who's been searching for belonging and realizing that you can make your own belonging for yourself is the big giving yourself a destiny is the kindest gift you can give yourself. And I think that's what it
Like the
pulled
thing
on.
is, I can't rate it as high as Moremi because I
Alright.
really like what Moremi did with the world building and everything. I
Yeah.
think like that's kind of the thing that knocks this one down a little bit is that it's more bottled. It feels very much like we're here with this particular setting. We don't get to see like the other people, even if it's for a brief second and all of that
Oh,
stuff.
now I know what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking, no, it's not Cape Malay.
Mm.
It's Namibia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Namibia.
Yes, absolutely. This is Namibia for you.
Oh,
Arid environment, deep Afrikaans speaking.
there's African people in Namibia.
Yes, they are.
The more you know. Namibia sounds so African.
Yeah, no. Remember, it was like the last.
I always wonder if people are confused by our rugby team. If they're just like, but
There's so many Caucasians.
but how? It's like watching the All Blacks and then you never see a black person. You're like, but how are you the All?
They're dressed in all black.
Oh, really? That's it? Okay.
That's it. And every other national team is basically a reflection of them. So if you see the national cricket team, they're all dressed in black, even though they're called I forgot something caps.
Oh. No, I'm laughing because it's just like for a team called the All Blacks, and then I saw one black person during the game. I was like, they did it because I remember watching a couple of games.
They have a black captain. Oh.
Yeah, I remember watching a couple of games, and I'm like, where are the black people in the All Blacks? I'm very confused. So I'm sure people are looking at our rugby team, and they're just like, but South Africa.
Africa it's giving Caucasian for a local team.
Like see, and there's only like 2 black players. No, but then I remember that joke by Trevor where he was like, ngena pop. And now I'm here. I'm here
too. I'm here.
No, I was like, yeah, because I thought about it. I was like, rugby is you.
Okay, I think
I played in high school and I retired immediately.
Oh, okay. We just got a message from Extrodin out of. Yeah, sorry guys. I think.
Is it looking like he's out?
He's
for the
out.
end of the video?
Yeah.
Uh,
So
damn.
he'll give us his rating on the Yu-Gi-Oh episode. So guys,
Oh,
go
okay.
join us on the Yu-Gi-Oh episode to hear his final thoughts about this episode. All right,
It's
guys?
time to rate.
It's time to rate. Ooh, nah, nah, nah.
Hey, on a tangent, that intro, I love it. It's one of my favorite anime intros.
It is.
Yamu.
And I think one just to close it off, the one story I urgently want to see finished up into this also would make a nice movie. This episode here,
Hmm.
I think it would make
It
a.
can go either way.
Oh yeah, but
Like
you'd
the
also
Hatima one specifically, I think needs to be a movie. I don't think it
this
can
one
be a series.
this one could be a series.
This one could be a series, yeah, because then we'd also get to like trek through the desert, learn like more of our history. It feels like it can also expand into like an open world type of thing.
Yeah.
Because maybe this guy travels from city to city. Maybe it's a thing where he's this special dude that goes around cities giving other people these destinies or whatever. So if she's like learning beside him and everything, and he's supposed to be the grandmaster to pass it on to her. Plus, we see they have guns and weaponry, so
Yeah.
there's like fight scenes, and maybe she'll have like to learn how to train how to fight and all of that stuff. It'll
And
like
she did hold her own.
yeah,
Give
she
her
held
props.
her own, but it was like maybe they could expand that stuff because maybe he's like this badass fighter because he always has to be protecting this star thing. So and then we also get to see like more of Rafi, and maybe Rafi also has like a kid or like
Yes.
yeah, something that also can grow up and everything. Like it feels like very much like a handover, like the way Mkuzi, the spirit racer, kind of felt like where it was like a handover from the mother
Yes.
to the
Yeah.
son. It also would have felt like this in a way where it was like a handover from this old sage man to this little girl taking this tradition forward and all of that stuff.
I agree with you completely with this one. I just liked this one. Yeah, I like the old man. Um, yeah, grandfather figures are always Gandalf figures. He reminds me of Gandalf. There it is. Yeah, he's a good Gandalf figure because he's
Yeah,
not gonna
like
solve all your problems.
those old dudes who they'll be there to be a shoulder to cry on, but they're not
Yes,
going to be the solver of your issues. They're going to empower you to solve them yourself, which
yes,
is the greatest thing that you can ever do for somebody is not to fix their problems, is to give them the tools to fix them themselves.
exactly. And then we've got the refuse. Or like I said, I also like the way that he knew that the girl was a stowaway.
Mm,
Because he said like, if you're usually faster than this, what are you doing? Are you getting old? He's like, ah. I was like, my guy, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
No, I feel like he was saying that for her benefit so that she
yes,
could feel like she was sneaking.
yes. Like, oh dear. And then the part was also like, we need to be quiet. Don't
Yeah.
breathe. Don't make a sound. They're like, girl, are you listening to me? Don't
Yeah.
make a sound.
It's like if you do something, they will find you. Shush.
If you do something, they'll find you, Rifi. Listen carefully, my dear.
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
I would have loved to have seen like a 3-season show from this short. I think it would have been amazing.
And I think we are done. Are there any other thoughts that you want to add?
No, I would definitely say that this anthology has been my favorite anthology of all time because I don't like anthologies. I usually don't. I don't like incomplete stories, but like these ones, outside of it being an African production, I just think objectively speaking,
It's a well
they
done
all
African production.
yeah, they all pushed, but I'm saying they all pushed to tell a narrative, whether it was a complete narrative or a narrative that left you wanting more. You always had a start, middle, and an end. And I feel like that's something that a lot of anthologies didn't really get. Like even Star Wars Visions, there's some of them where they just kind of just droop off,
Waffled. Yeah.
or they waffled or whatever, or like they did some cool stuff, but they didn't give you like a full narrative type of thing. So like, because I mean, there was somewhere it would be like somebody from the light going to the dark, somebody from the dark going to the light. But sometimes you'd like want to question the motives as to, oh, he's back.
Oh, welcome back.
So long that we came back full circle.
You know?
Oh yeah, my name was off, so I need to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I was just saying that I think this is my favorite anthology series ever, and I wish they got picked up. I wish I cross my fingers. Maybe one day some Disney executive will actually start making some smart decisions and do.
I before that, I also just want to say if any of the people who were behind creating this thing, from the voice actors to the animators to the production crew to everybody, I hope you don't give up. I earnestly plead, do not give up, do not stop. If you felt like you wanted to tell more in your story, then find a way to tell it. Your intentions will open a way. That's all I'm just saying in regards to this. Just keep at it because these stories that you release are beautiful. I mean, in an age where local productions are things like The River and
Ish.
and Scandal, and I'm talking about South African productions here. Now, I don't know
Yeah,
what's going
yeah.
on in the other parts of the continent. I'm not about to bash Africa Magic because the witchcraft there is strong. Look, I'm struggling. I'm struggling under Elon Musk. Imagine if I now piss off Africa Magic, dun 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 dun, quack, 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 quack. And then you just see that lady who's always a witch in these shows just turn around like,
Ah, that'd be a
I've spotted
terrifying horror movie.
This South African heretic. He will
That'd be
never insult our production
that
ever
would be a
again.
terrifying. That would be a terrifying horror movie.
But one is like 4 hours, but one.
Anyway, so I'm not gonna bash African Magic. I'm gonna bash our local production. I'm saying this is way better than what our local production is doing so far. And
No, like some of these actors work in local productions, and you can hear the life in their voices. Like you can
yes,
hear that they're excited to
they're
read this stuff.
enjoying
Because
that. There's passion.
if you look at some of these local productions, these people are just clocking in. They're just paying bills.
Not,
They're
you
just
know.
paying ESCOM to
Mm,
keep the lights on for a couple of hours.
mm.
Like here, Pearl Tusi, right? And we're getting into her episode next, but Pearl Tusi in this show has showed me more life than I've ever seen from her in any of the local stuff that I've watched.
Hashtag Pels to see. I'm gonna tag in this thing and see what you're gonna say. Hashtag Pel to see. Hashtag Kizazi Moto. Hashtag season 2,
Like I'm
please.
saying, she was like the fact that she was such a brilliant voice actor, because that's also a great indicator of a great actor or actress.
Yes,
Is that if
yes,
they're great
yes.
with their voices, chances are they're going to be fantastic on screen.
I mean, you're busy commenting earlier today. We've got our own WhatsApp group, guys, by the way. So we do message each other, and we found clips from the voice actors from Bleach that we've been sending to
Mm.
each other, and the level of heart they put into that performance, it's awe-inspiring. It makes you want to
Hey,
fall in
that
love.
like I'm saying, part of the reason why Bleach is where it is in the big three is due to that voice acting. That dude who plays Ichigo, when he says
Bad
"bankai," you even
guy.
see it in the booth. He's leaning back, like there's back muscles in there.
Yes, yes, it comes from the soul. Or even the one with my Yuri. That one with my Yuri just killed me. Anyway, guys, I
Yeah.
think let's finally close
All right,
before
yeah, I think we
something
can
else
close it
happens
out.
really soon.
Huto, I don't know if you're able to say any last words.
Oh, just support local content, guys.
Oh,
There's more
do you have a rating?
that
Yeah,
Yep.
what's your rating?
out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. This one is a 9, bro.
Yo.
Oh,
Uh, it's a 9. Actually, I think it's a 9.5. I like this one slightly more than the other.
ooh.
Um, maybe it's because of the animation style. I don't know, but
Yeah, it, it,
I
it
don't know, man. I like seeing hero's journey from a girl main character.
mm,
We don't see that a lot. So
mm,
seeing a strong girl
mm.
um, do that without being forced or pushed by any other male figure or whatever, that was amazing. And it's amazing that obviously the impression that they give us is if this girl goes back to the same place that she was at before, she's gonna be looked differently now because now she has the title,
Mm,
that the old man had.
mm,
So from being a nobody to being someone that now has you guys have to rely on
mm,
for your futures, it's
mm.
amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
So that storyline for me was
Mm.
was amazing.
I just wanted to touch up when you talking about the quality. It's like this one episode here is giving a lot of Blizzard intro video level quality, and I love it. And for those people who play Blizzard games, they know the newest World of Warcraft Blizzard trailer just dropped. Please go watch it; it's awesome. But if you see the level of any quality of animation, and then you see this one, they're very close. And this is a local production. This is like an African production. I am so stoked. You don't. I am like a little girl inside. I can suppress many of my feelings. If you think that I'm wild now, trust me. If I was unhinged, I'd be in a straitjacket.
Ah.
So there's a lot of repression that's holding on, and you just see this level of crazy, and you wonder if I'm sober or not. Trust me, this isn't my final form. I'm wearing the weighted clothes from Piccolo
over
and Goku.
90,000. What? Over 90,000?
Man. Anyway, so let's wrap it up before something else happens with the technology in this
Yeah,
Topsy Turvy episode. Guys, thank you so much for lasting until this point. I hope you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. Let us know. Support local content. Let the guys know how much of a good job they've done making this, like the Pearl 2Cs and the Nasty Cs and the
Taco Universe.
Taco
Taco
Universe
Universe, yeah.
and
Triggerfish.
and Triggerfish. All
And
these.
Panda Exclamated. He did a lot of designing on this. Panda Exclamated as well. He did a great job on Instagram.
Ask BuckMeister who the whole cast is. He'll give you names. I think it's clear. We don't need an end credit screen. They just need to talk to BuckMeister. He'll give you everything. So please go to this guy, and we'll see you. I think next week for the wrap up. Maybe we'll just make something special about the final episode. We'll see what it was like. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. Peace out.